And welcome into the program. This is Cosmic Koolaid, episode 4. I'm your host, Corey Short. And in the booth with me today, we got the beautiful and amazingly talented Miss Leeda Lyric Jones. How you doing, girl?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on.
So glad to have you on. I've been waiting for this. We got sidetracked a couple of times and some scheduling difficulties, but we found our way here, and I'm stoked to have you. Our first local Asheville artist, well, regional. You well beyond local at this point.
Yeah.
But super stoked to have you here. For those that aren't in the area, don't know about Lyric, she is a funk soul songbird of the highest caliber. She has rocked every stage and is one of Asheville's finest artists. And as you know, Asheville's a booming music town. It's growing every year, and Leeda is one of the all-stars here in town. She's played all the big events. She's opened for all the big artists, and we're just stoked to have you here.
I'm excited.
Are you following this white balloon thing?
Not at all. Not really.
This thing is crazy. Like, this white balloon is come over from Alaska. Everybody thinks it's a spy balloon. And I don't know. They shot it down finally after it crossed the whole country, and nobody knows what it is. And it's, I don't know, scary. Got me freaked out.
Oh, see, I didn't even know they shot it down.
They shot it down just this afternoon, right? It went over Asheville, basically straight down 26 to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
And then right as soon as it got out over the ocean, they shot it down. They just didn't want it falling on people.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And so hopefully we'll do some investigation and figure out what that thing was.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
So, Leeda, tell our audience a little bit about your journey, how you got started in music, and what's led you to where you are today.
So my family is definitely a music family, full of musicians. More so on my dad's side than my mom's side.
Sure.
But my mom likes to think that she can sing too, but that's another story. But my grandfather, I feel like it probably didn't start there, but he was like one of the ones that kind of sort of made a name for himself. And he played guitar and harmonica, and they called him Guitar Shorty because everywhere he went, he had his guitar. And was always writing songs, just super creative, like on the fly type of stuff, you know. And it kind of started with him. He toured a little bit with B.B. King for a little while, but he couldn't read music, so he got kicked off the tour. And, you know, then there came my dad, and my dad he started out as a drummer. Then he kind of played keys and guitar. He was a lead singer for multiple bands in the area, and also wrote a bunch of his own music, had some of his music on the radio.
Your dad was a lead singer?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about him.
Yeah, he was a lead singer.
We got to get him up there for one.
He gets nervous. He gets shy now. I don't know. But, yeah, he was a lead singer for quite a few bands here in town locally, and they did some traveling and stuff like that, too. But yeah, now he's my bass player in my band, but he's played just about anything you can think of, so.
So you got the musical lineage in your bloodline.
Yeah.
What age was it when you knew that you wanted to do this too, and how did that start?
So I've been singing forever. Singing vocals is my main instrument.
How old were you when you knew you had pipes? You're like, I
don't know what age, but I just remember I remember Bell Share played an intricate part in it when they had the little booths that you could go in and sing and record and take the CD home with you. Showing my age a little bit about the CD thing, but take the CD home with you and, you know, listen back to it. And me and my cousin, we would go and do that at Bell Share. And I was like, oh, man, I actually have a voice. Like, I like to listen to it.
It's so funny you say that because that is a real test of your singing. Because back in my karaoke days, we would charge, you know, come sing at the show, leave with a CD of your 3 or 4 songs that you performed, $20, $25.
Oh, that's cool.
And those people would never come back again.
Really?
They would hear themselves and be like, oh, shit, that's awful, and never come back again.
Yeah.
So that was not a good business model. We quit doing the CDs because we wanted to keep people coming.
Right.
But when they heard themselves back, so for you to hear that back and you knew you had it, that's when you know you got it.
I was probably, you know, a teenager, early teens then, and realized that I really loved singing and actually liked how I sounded back to myself.
So the first time you ever got paid for your craft was, what, busking downtown? You started performing on the street?
Actually, yeah, that was so I started out at so I sang in choirs and stuff all throughout middle school, high school.
Okay.
And I got to give a shout out to Miss Benton at Asheville Middle. I don't think she's still there, but she was like one of my greatest like pushers to say, "Hey, you can sing. You really got this." Like she was always like, she stayed on me in chorus and choir and everything, and she always gave me these lead singing opportunities, and I'd be like, "I'm too shy for this. Like, no, I don't want to do it." But she always pushed me, and I know now that she saw what I had then, but I didn't see it. You know, I was just a teenager that wanted to play sports then.
And you the same shy girl that you were back then. You just found your home on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, all right. So you started. You did the choir thing. You started busking downtown at what age?
So I actually went to Western Carolina University, where I really found like my niche for music, or not my niche for music, but my voice kind of in the music world. And I actually played keys for the Western Carolina Gospel Choir.
Okay.
Mind you, this was the only class I went to. Mm-hmm. The whole time I was there, I kid you not. This is the only class I went to a couple other classes that weren't my favorite, but choir was like, I'm going to go to choir if I do anything. But I played keys for them for a little bit, and then I joined this band out there, and I can't remember the name of it, but we played a lot of soul, and I wasn't playing guitar then, I was just singing. Mm-hmm. I was one of the singers. There was like two or three of us that kind of had like lead singing roles, and then we kind of backed each other up if we weren't lead singing. But that was like really when I was like, oh, I really want to do this. I really want to perform. I want to make people happy. I want to be on stage. It makes me feel good, you know?
Sure.
So, you know, obviously that didn't last long, my career at WCU, because I only went to a couple classes. And so I came home, and that was when I told my dad I wanted a guitar. And he was like, he always tried to get me to play like different instruments and stuff through school, but I played basketball and softball, so I wasn't focused on music then, and he never forced it on me, which I appreciated. But when I got back, he bought me my first guitar, and we went to this church called the River of Life. I'll never forget it. Bishop Ann Hartman called me down one day, and she was like, God is telling me to tell you, I see you playing a stringed instrument. I don't know if it's guitar, bass, what it is. But after you acquire this instrument and you learn your craft, he's going to bless you and your dad like 100-fold. And so it was kind of like, it was crazy because I had literally just got home from school, told my dad I wanted a guitar, and then she called us down and was like, this is what God told me to tell you, you know? So we got the guitar, and he actually was like, I saw these guys playing downtown, like, you should try it, you know? And I was kind of like, I don't really want to go do that. You know, I'm shy. I'm like, I don't know. I was 18, 19 at the time. So he was like, just try it. You never know. So I learned 2 songs, and one was an original song called Blue Skies, and then the other song was Halo by Beyonce. Those were the only 2 songs I could play. I went downtown.
But you wrote Blue Skies.
I wrote Blue Skies, yeah. I went downtown. I set up my guitar and put my case out and played those songs back to back to back. And the response from people just walking by was just amazing. And so it was literally probably that moment that I knew that I'm in the right place.
That changed your whole path.
Yeah.
Right then. You saw the response from the people, strangers, and you were sold.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So tell me, enlighten me a little bit on how Western Carolina sent you. Like, how did that program help you? Like, what did it equip you with?
So I did learn to read music there.
Perfect.
In a short period of time, which I'm not that great at now to this day because I just haven't used it much. Mm-hmm. But I've always had an ear for music, so if I hear something, I can typically find it and play it or sing it. I can definitely sing it, but on guitar, I can typically find it and play it. So I went to a few voice classes there, which I'm not vocally trained. That's not something I would claim, but those classes did help me kind of find my range, I feel. And then I took some piano classes, And connecting that voice with the keys is something that I feel like helps a lot of singers, because if you can play a note and you can sing it, then when you hear that note and you're in a club or you're on stage with, whoever, then you can still sing it. You know what I mean? So learning those things and learning to sight read. Sight reading was one of my hardest challenges, but I had a teacher at Western, and I can't remember her name, that really pushed me to go for it. You know what I mean? And sight reading for voice was one of my hardest challenges, but she pushed me, and I'm grateful for that, because like I said, it's shaped me into the singer that I've become, because if I hear something, I can sing it.
Yeah.
If I see something, I can sing it, typically, too. Just takes me a little bit longer, but
Sure.
We'll get there.
Sure. It's cool how we have those, those teachers and those people from our childhood and our youth that you can absolutely identify the exact mark they had on the rest of your life.
Yep.
I got a marketing teacher and even a keyboarding class.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do without being able to type fast. It's such a part of my everyday. So the people that pushed me into those things,
Yeah.
So walk me through after, so you got out of school, you got back here, you busked, you played downtown, you got a great response from the audience, and then when started the next part of the journey?
So I started out just busking downtown by myself, and then I met this Jamaican guy he played the djembe, and he's like, "Oh man, let's play together, like let's hang out." And so I was like, "Okay, cool." Then he started playing with me. His name was Gyro Burrell. And I haven't seen him in years, but I'm assuming he went back to Jamaica. But then he would start singing, and we would just kind of jam together. And that kind of started like this duo aspect of lyric. And then one day my dad popped up on us downtown, and he had a portable amp, a battery-powered amp. And he started playing with us. So then we had bass. And it just kind of built from there. And then my dad and I we were downtown playing one day in front of Malaprops, and we saw Derek Graves, which he's on a lot of our older stuff downtown. And my dad was like, "Man, go get your percussion, like come sit in with us, come jam." And so that first day he was kind of like, I don't know. But then he saw us again, and he had his stuff with him, and he jumped on board with us. So he's been a part of the Lyric family since the beginning.
Yeah.
But then shortly after that, we played our first gig. I think our first gig was at Tall Gary's downtown when that was a thing.
Yeah, I did some karaoke at Tall Gary's.
Yeah. And then it just kind of took off from there. We played Mo Daddies. I did a bunch of like brown bag singer-songwriter competitions and stuff like that.
Was it named Lyric from the beginning, from the first show at Tall Gary's, or did that evolve otherwise?
Well, I went by Lyric, so I just kind of left it as a thing.
Yeah, it's a great fit.
Yeah, I just kind of left it as the band name, and it just kind of grew from there.
Okay, so you the journey took you downtown busking, and then you started playing small clubs, and then how long until you started getting invited to open up for bigger names and bigger rooms?
Oh, that's a good question. I couldn't really give you an exact time because I feel like it kind of all went so fast and happened so fast. But I remember playing my first Bell Share downtown, my first Bell Share and the last Bell Share that they had here in town. And I feel like after that is when everything kind of took off, because that big stage, you see so many people get to hear you.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my dad played the first ever Bell Share here in town, and that was his last Bell Share playing with me, which was my first Bell Share, which was kind of cool. But I would say Bell Share kind of gave me that platform and kind of catapulted me a little bit.
All right. So I have dabbled a little bit in videography, as you know.
Yeah.
And we got the chance to make a couple of music videos together a few years back, and hopefully we'll again when life slows down one day.
Yeah, for sure.
But is it cool if I show my audience a couple clips of our videos?
Oh, yeah.
All right, y'all take a look. We'll be right back.
Control. So please don't go, no. I'll unpack your bags. Just leave them at the door. So tell me what you need, I got it, baby. Yeah, it's all for you. All for you. Ain't nobody out here that can stop us, yeah, you know we bulletproof. Mine, yours, all that matters, love. Just focus on us. So tell me what you. Don't come at me with the he say, she say. You already know them games I don't play. You don't need an excuse to escape. I won't stay where I'm unwanted anyway today. No, not me, I don't need all this pain that you bring. I saw you differently, thought we weren't meant to be. No, people change and it's okay, but I got love in my soul for you, baby. It's love.
And welcome back again, folks. We got Lyric in the studio with us. You saw a couple of clips of our video there, and man, I really enjoyed making those with you. Those were fun.
So much fun.
I appreciate you you taking a chance on me because I didn't know what I was doing, and you know, you put your career out there and let me let me have it in my hands for a minute, and that was fun, and it was a great learning experience, and you know, keep getting better and better, you know.
And it's crazy that you say that because you would never look at those videos and say, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. You know what I mean?
I just had a really nice camera.
Everybody loved those videos so much, though.
They were fun. And it's great songs, you know. To this day, it's at the top of my Apple library for the number of plays. Because it's always in the rotation. Good tunes for sure. So when you were playing downtown, did anybody famous or anything ever see you? Anybody noteworthy?
Yeah, we and I actually didn't notice her, but my dad was a big fan of this lady called LYRIC.
Okay.
She's a jazz soul singer, Grammy winner, and she actually walked by us one day playing on the streets and stopped. And my dad was like, "That's LYRIC," and I was like, "No." And he's like, "I'm telling you, that's Liz." And so, and it ended up being her. And she stopped and talked to me and got my email. I got her email, and we exchanged, you know, information and everything. And she came out and heard us one Goombay, and we actually cover one of her songs called "Hit the Ground." You guys should check it out if you've never heard it. But she came and saw us at Goombay, and shortly after that, she asked me to come and open up a bunch of dates for her on her tour, which was a Northeast tour. I'd never done anything like that, you know, so I was super stoked about it. And me and Skip, my MC, he raps with us every now and then. We got on the road and we traveled. We racked up all those toll booth tickets and everything, and and it was a great time. But yeah,
now, how many shows did you do with her?
I think it was 8.
Okay,
it was between 8 and 10, and Nashville was the last leg of that tour, and my dad came down and played with me, so that was kind of special.
What size crowd in Nashville did you have?
We played City Winery, so it was all seated.
That's a cool spot.
Yeah. So I don't know about how many people were there, but I mean all her shows were basically sold out. Yeah. So there were a few times where I was like, "Whoo, okay, we're doing this."
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you've opened for LYRIC. Tell me about some of the other artists you've opened for.
I've opened for Mavis Staples from the Staples Singers.
She's a legend.
Oh man, she was so awesome. Like, she was like, "Honey, you tell Beyonce when you meet her that she ain't got nothing on you and all this stuff." And I was just like, "Okay, Miss Mavis." She's like, but one thing that stuck with me from her in our conversation and laughing and all that was she said, "You know, keep knocking at the door, because even though you may be getting no's right now, one day you'll get that yes that you need to kind of help you get to where you should be." You know what I mean? And she just had a lot of wisdom, and she was just so amazing. She kind of felt like my grandmother to me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've heard that about her, and I'm glad you got that experience. Who else?
George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic, which we had kind of hung out with George, and Boogie Masoon, which he passed away before they came, and we opened for them. But me and my dad hung out with them on their tour bus one time. They came to the Orange Peel, and Boogie is one of my dad's all-time favorite bass players, so it was cool that they got to meet and hang out and do that whole thing. But George was a really, really sweet guy. Hung out with Bootsy Collins. He was real sweet. He said, "Y'all keep killing that roadkill now on y'all way through the funk something." I was like, okay. I was just so taken aback by his, like, the way he talks.
Right.
Like his music is like similar to how he talks, which is really cool. I met Razor Sharp, which is one of the guys that plays on George's Parliament Funkadelics, a few of their albums. He was the keyboard player for a few of their albums. I did a workshop with him here in town, actually, and he was real cool. I've opened for Carrie Hilson.
Candace Glover.
Candace Glover.
You were her band.
Yeah, we were the band for her,
American
too.
Idol winner, Candace Glover. Shout out. We love you, Candace.
Yeah. Cedric Burnside, Grammy nominee. He's a drummer, vocalist, guitar player. Just does about everything.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I heard the other day that you play drums. Is that true?
I do.
How did I not know that? What all instruments do you play?
Now, I'm not saying I'm the best drummer, but yeah, I can keep it in the pocket. But I play keys, drums, a little bit of bass, guitar, and mainly vocals.
for this show, I'm gonna have to have all these instruments here. So when these opportunities arise, we're doing this, and put you on the drums and put it on the show. But
right.
We'll get that next time you're on.
For sure.
All right, so let's finish. Who else? I want to make sure we've covered all the names that you've been associated with. Warren Haynes.
Warren Haynes, yeah. I was just about to say.
That had to be exciting as hell.
Oh, that was crazy.
I remember it gave me chills the first time I saw that picture of you on stage with Warren.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
It was crazy. And I was telling my dad, I was like, I wonder if he'd play a song with us. My dad was like, just ask him.
Yep.
He's like, he's human. Just ask him. And so I went and asked him, and he was like, sure. He was like, what song do you want to do? So I'll never forget it. We played Simple Man down at, I don't remember the venue. It's been changed several times since then, but he got on stage with us, and I remember looking back at him because we had already started, and he was kind of like, go ahead, I'm coming, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And him just getting up there and ripping it with us, it was amazing. And he's also been one of my big inspirations too, and he always told me, just keep at it.
Yeah.
You never know, just keep at it, and you got it. So. And
that takes me to another person that will actually be a guest on this show here in the next couple weeks, but a legendary artist around here in one kind of the founding club band circuit with Warren Haynes back in the day was Jack Muscari.
Oh yeah.
And I know what Jack means to me on so many levels, and I can't wait to have him on this show. But tell me about what he means to you, because I know y'all have a special bond.
Yeah, we do. Oh man, Jack is like my brother, my uncle, my cousin, my dad that I never had, and that I never knew I needed until I met him. And he's just so inspirational. I mean, not even just his playing, but how he goes about life. We recorded the track that you guys heard or will hear at his studio, and he's just another guy that's always pushed me to be better and pushed me to do more and pushed me to work on my craft and not just expect things because I'm talented or because I can sing, you know what I mean? But he's always been one of those guys that told me, you got to work for it if you want it. Sweet pea is what he calls me.
Yep.
If you want it, sweet pea, you got to work for it. It's not going to fall in your lap. So.
Well, and the cool thing about him is, Leeda, an artist like you is easy to pour into. You have natural, God-given talent, and working with you is a dream for anybody in the industry.
Yeah.
But Jack gives that same love to people that are just getting started.
Yeah.
I mean, this guitar is my only inheritance back here from my dad. True story. My only inheritance is this guitar, and Jack's just itching to teach me how to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's that guy.
He is just that guy.
Oh, he's totally that guy.
He's just amazing. And
yeah,
Jack, if you're listening, we love you, and I can't wait to have you on the show and let you tell your story too. But thank you for what you do for all of us, sir.
Yes, love you so much, Jack.
So, all right, folks, we are going to take a quick break and pay some bills, let y'all meet our sponsors. But we'll be back right here in a few minutes. And I'm not real happy with how much cooler you look than me right now. So when we come back, I'm gonna match that look. We'll be right back.
Okay. Hey y'all, I'm Dunbar with Instant Karma Asheville. We are a one-stop hippie shop and a true Asheville experience. And we have 3D tapestries. You gotta check this out. See what I'm saying? Every 3D tapestry comes with a free pair of 3D glasses. It's amazing. And we have beautiful dream catchers for catching all those dreams that you don't want to have. Two locations, one in West Asheville on Haywood Road, and the other one is downtown on North Lexington Avenue. Make sure you check out our online store at instantkarmaasheville.com. And I can say we are the place you want to be.
And welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Corey Short. I now look adequately cool as my guest, Miss Leeda Lyric Jones. But unfortunately with these, I can't see shit. So I'm going to go ahead and take them off. But if you like them, you can get a pair at Instant Karma Asheville, one of our sponsors. We love those guys. And you can check them out downtown and on Haywood Road. So welcome back. Glad to have you here still, Leeda. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Oh, yeah, it's been fun.
So let's get into some deeper heart and soul stuff about your thoughts and your career on music. And I don't mean to sound cliche or anything here, but we had Todd Lewis on as our first guest. He is Luke Combs, front of house sound engineer. We all know how great Luke's doing, and we're all happy for Luke. And he had that cool song, If I Wasn't Doing This. It's called Doing This. I always botch this part up, but if you weren't doing this, Leeda, if you weren't doing music, what do you think you'd be doing?
I don't know.
I'm thinking caretaker, nurse, medical type. Like you're such a sweet soul. You seem like you've got caretaker in you.
I'm definitely a caretaker, but I don't know if I could do the nursing field.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do the nursing field.
It's messy business, and I applaud the women that do.
Yeah,
and the men,
for sure.
men and women. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'd be doing something in fashion, and because
Absolutely.
I love fashion and shoes and hats and just style in general, you know. So maybe something with fashion.
Okay.
And I eventually will have a clothing line and stuff like that.
I can't wait to help you push that.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
yeah.
Absolutely. Part of your swag factor and the stuff that makes you so fashionable is your obsession and love for Jeeps.
Yeah.
You've got the most tricked out, sexy Jeeps in town, and you turn them out. Tell me about that. How did you fall in love with Jeeps?
It's funny because since I was a little girl, I always wanted a Jeep. And my dad got me one of the Barbie Jeeps. I had the pink Jeep, you know, thought it was so cool. And it wasn't until not many years ago, about 7 years ago, that I was, or not even, I'm acting like I'm not going to tell my age, but, and the Jeep life is just, it's unmatched. I mean, there's meetups, there's hangouts, there's whole weekend events, week-long events. I'm actually looking at going to Jeep Beach coming up in Daytona.
Okay.
It'll just be a bunch of crazy Jeepers that get down there and party and have a good time, basically.
But I got to ask you, when you go to the Jeep event, what the hell do y'all talk about? Like, oh, nice Jeep, bro. Like,
yeah, basically.
What do you talk about?
Basically a bunch of Jeep stuff, like what kind of lift you got, what kind of wheels and tires you looking at.
Ooh,
you know,
where'd
like,
you get that?
Right.
Like, okay.
And,
okay.
you know, they have.
I was like, what? I mean, what are y'all really talking about?
Yeah, they have vendors and stuff, and they have like it even goes down to. So I drive a green Sarge Green Eco Diesel Wrangler right now, and there's a whole Green Jeeps meet group.
An Eco Diesel. Mm-hmm. When did they come out with these for Jeeps?
I think 2019.
Okay.
And so I kind of waited. Mine's a 21. So I kind of waited on that just to see what was,
Is it like a hybrid, like half electric, half diesel, or just straight diesel?
Straight diesel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it loud, like a diesel truck?
It's not very loud. It's got a little bit of a growl to it.
Louder than the other Jeep. Okay.
Yeah, not super aggressive. It's definitely got a lot more power than my 13 that was just a, regular unleaded.
Now, do they make those with a V8? The Jeeps?
V8, is that like
a Hemi?
Yes,
they
the
do.
392. I've been looking at one.
Okay.
I can't afford it.
I can't. I imagine
I would love.
that's probably hard to keep in the road because the Jeeps are so light.
Yeah, and they're already once you put the lift on them, it's like
fly.
Yeah,
Be like Mario Kart.
for real, seriously. And I don't need any more tickets, so I'm good on that.
So, who are you rocking to these days musically? Who do you like?
I love SZA. Her, for sure. I mean, Prince. I still love my Prince.
Sure.
Go back to Prince a lot. Still love India Arie. LYRIC's definitely one of my favorites too.
If you had a dream duet that you go into the studio with any artist on earth, who would that be?
That's hard.
I got one.
Who?
I feel like you and Missy Elliott would make the dopest song.
You and
You
Mark.
and Missy Elliott would make the dopest song.
You and Mark are so on point with that. Mark says the same thing to me all the time. Shout out to Mark. Hey,
Yeah.
Mark. Love
What's
you.
up, Mark?
But he's like, man, if we could get like a Focus on Us remix with Missy Elliott or this Love
Let's
remix.
send it to him.
Yeah. I mean, we could. It never hurts to try.
Yep.
I don't know.
Snoop Dogg says, I'll do 16 bars on your track for $250,000. And then to be in the video, it's another $250,000.
Oh yeah.
And you only got 1 hour, so get to filming.
Wow.
That's what he said.
Jesus. Yep. Yeah. I would have to say her. I would have to say her right now.
Yeah.
Just because, I'm feeling that vibe that she's got going.
And for those that don't know what she's saying, her is the name of the artist, H-E-R.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Chris Brown, of course.
That's for all my overly Caucasian people that are not paying, Just got to clarify for my mama and people that don't know who her is.
Yeah. Chris Brown would be another one, though. Love him.
Yeah, that'd be
Love
dope.
what he does. Off the top of my head right now, those would be some of the artists that I would love to work with.
What motivates your writing? What Blue Sky? Is it or is it life experiences? What's your process there?
A lot of it is life experiences, especially for Blue Skies. That's a lot of my story and a lot of my song. But there will be blue skies in the morning, blue skies in the morning, blue skies in the morning. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of my song. That's funny. And another song, You Can Win. That's my story to a T.
Sure.
But motivational for me, my family, everyday life. Just I can be driving down the road and see something and want to sing about it. And so I might write it down or jot down a thought or two about it, just to keep and to have.
So you get those thoughts together. You have your idea. And then what's your process? Do you write lyrics first and then go back and track it later? Or do you find a tune and then you put the words to your idea to that tune?
Yeah, usually I need music first.
Okay.
Typically. I found that I write better songs when I have something to write to, as opposed to just writing lyrics down first. So a lot of my original stuff has come after music.
Sure. So our audience saw the music videos that we worked on earlier, and they're probably a bit confused based on seeing that and then knowing that you're playing, all these guitar-driven tracks out in public.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, Lyric is very multifaceted. She's got her own hip-hop career,
Yeah.
which...
hip-hop, R&B.
Hip-hop, R&B, which you saw in the music videos, and then she's got her live band experience, which is very different.
Yeah.
Very different audience, very different vibe, but both fantastic.
Thank you. So we're gonna add a third to that with this
Country
acoustic-
Western.
With this,
Lyrics Country Western coming out this spring, y'all. Look out. We got the cowboy hat ordered.
hey, I would love to do some country. I don't want to spread myself too thin.
Yeah.
But country,
mean-
I've been listening to a lot of country music lately.
Producing one duet with you and...
Luke Combs.
I mean, the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. And, if in the last 5 years, there's been so many out-of-the-box duets and this country rap thing. Like, we've got so much of it coming to Silverados, and it's selling tickets like crazy. What do you think about that?
I like it. I'm all about it. Anything that makes people feel good and they can express themselves.
And it really is, I mean, it's
good.
Innovative. It really is. And some of it's garbage. There's no way around that. But some of all music is garbage.
Yeah.
But some of these guys are really, just carving their own path. And it doesn't sound like Jelly Roll,
Yeah, I love
Jelly Roll is a groundbreaking, man.
Yeah.
What a ride he's on right now.
For sure, yeah.
I believe he could drop a song in any genre and it would hit number one right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The pleasure of having him at Silverados last year, and at the time, he worked on a door deal of sorts where he got to walk away with somewhere in the neighborhood of $40,000 ish.
Yeah.
I don't even know that I'm supposed to say that on air, but he walked away with a good chunk of money. But now the dude's getting like $300K per show and up.
Yeah.
It's just crazy what these and how quickly it happens.
That's how it goes.
I mean, I almost had Luke Combs scheduled to play in the Harley-Davidson field. We were discussing it, and he was $20,000, right? And in one night, Leeda, he went from $20,000 a show to $100,000 a show. I called back the next day, and they're like, "It's not going to work." He said it's overnight success, truly.
Wow.
And
Did he just get a hit record or
yeah,
what?
Hurricane came out, and he just through the moon. So
I love all his stuff.
But he's
Luke Combs. Let's work together.
Hey, you, Luke, if you're watching, this will be a good one for sure. So I've noticed recently that you are back on top of your game with your creativity and your marketing, and you seem recharged.
Yeah.
What kind of took the wind out of your sails? Was it COVID?
Yeah, partly COVID, and then just like being like, just feeling kind of blah and not feeling that creative strike.
Writer's block of sorts.
Yeah, and just needing a refresh, and went to Puerto Rico for a little bit, and then after COVID went to Nicaragua for a little bit, and I feel like that kind of helped me see the world on a bigger scale in sorts, and realize how blessed I truly am to be here and in the moment now. And also, I just don't want to let my gift just waste away, And once I realized that, all the just feeling blah and maybe being depressed here and there just kind of goes out the window once I realize how blessed I truly am, and to have people like you, and to have the social and, and Silverados and these venues that really love me, and people that really love me and care about me, that actually show it and not just say it. You know what I mean? That also keeps me from just feeling blah. Yeah. And not wanting to create and not wanting to do things anymore. And
I can only imagine that there's someone that, and you're talented. I mean, you are. You don't have to be modest.
Yeah.
Here, you're talented as hell, and I imagine it's got to be very frustrating to keep bouncing your head off the ceiling. Like, why won't this thing just open up?
Sure. Yeah.
I remember hearing an interview with Jason Aldean one time, and he was like, he's played every club in Nashville 100 times, and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And nothing's happening. And the week he was scheduled to move back home, to leave Nashville and hang it up, it happened. So I wish similar success for you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's just crazy how, some of the most talented people, it's a crazy game.
Yeah, for sure.
Is. All right, folks, we're going to take another quick break. We got Leeda Lyric Jones in the building, and we will be right back. And welcome back to the program. This is Cosmic Kool-Aid, episode 4. I'm your host, Corey Short, and in the booth with me, Miss Leeda Lyric Jones, Asheville's soul, queen of soul. She is she's an amazing talent, and the city of Asheville is lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you.
My venues are blessed to have you around, and we're thankful for that. And look forward to many, many more great opportunities working together. So touch base for me on the. So we said that you have the two sides of your output. You got your hip hop R&B side, and then you've got your soul. What would we call that?
Soul and funk with the band.
Soul funk band.
But I've even now kind of ventured out into, just like the acoustic side of me.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be more of like my real life vibe.
Sure.
Talking about things I've been through, where I'm at, where I want to be, relationships from all of it with family and partners and whatever else you could think of.
So if Sony Records came to you today and said, we're ready to sign you, you get to pick which direction you want to go. Which would you choose?
Ooh, that's hard.
Because it's two very different lives.
I don't know. I love my band to death. But I probably would go with the more like R&B and hip hop side of things.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to play an instrument if I don't want to. I don't have to carry a band. Not that I carry these guys because they all hold their own.
Sure.
But they look to me to be kind of like the glue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Not want to, but I will get to a place to where I can put the guitar down and just sing because that's my instrument. That's my main instrument.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to that place. So that's probably the route I would go, and I would still have a band, here and there, but it wouldn't, necessarily have to be a thing,
right,
in order for me to perform.
So tell me what you got coming up in 2023. What's new on the calendar and in the works?
Working on a new acoustic album with Jack Mascari, and I think Corey will have him on here soon to talk to you guys, but we talked about him a little bit before.
And you sent that to me earlier. We're going to go ahead and play. Are we able to play the whole song?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the name of the song is called Anonymous.
What a treat. Y'all are hearing it right here first on Cosmic Kool-Aid. Brand new music from Leeda Lyric Jones. This is called Anonymous. We'll be right back.
Sitting here with my thoughts, wondering if it's my fault. Somehow it's the time I lost and you. Reflecting on the good times and the smiles you brought to my life. I didn't make it back to school, I heard you moved on. Although we're in different places, I still see your face and the light from your smile. I know you're so far away and we're in different spaces. I still want you around. All the memories, I can't replace them. Your lips, yeah, I still taste them. What is that about? At times I feel I'm going crazy. Still love you, maybe won't put you down. Came to see me not too long ago. Talked about life, it's not been easy, no. Talk of the military, about your mom and Cali. You held your head low. I told you to keep the faith. You said you have no place that you feel safe. I pray for you every day, that God will make a way. Although we're in different places, I still see your face and the like from your smile. I know we're so far away and we're in different spaces. Still want you around. All the memories I can't replace them. Your lips, yeah, I still taste them. What is that about? At times I feel I'm going crazy. Still love you, maybe. Won't put you down. Won't put you down.
Ooh, girl, that sounded good. Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
You got a lot to be proud of. You should be. That was great. And I can't wait to hear the whole project. So so Jack, he's not only playing, but he's producing that, right?
Yeah, he's producing that record, and he's playing the lead on that. And he and I just kind of collaborated on it. It was a instrumental that I kind of already had in mind, and just kind of started writing to it. Matter of fact, we started that in COVID, and it's just
that
now.
Song or
that song,
wow.
yeah, and just now kind of making its way out of the cracks. But I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Absolutely. So let's venture back a little bit into your career, and you got any crazy stories from the road and from touring?
Oh, for sure. Matter of fact, not even from being on the road, but we were playing a specific venue downtown and got done and went to the closet where a lot of my bandmates had like their bags and their cases and everything. And somebody had puked all over their cases, bags, everything. So my dad was just kind of like, yeah, they can throw mine out. I don't want it anymore. A few of the guys was like, I'll wash mine. It's fine. And luckily, I did not put my cases for my equipment in that closet that night. And yeah, that was a crazy story. I mean, I remember being on the road with Skip when we toured with Liz, and just not knowing any better. We were in Times Square. We went and partied at some bar that was like 3 levels. And came back out. We had a $250 ticket on my car because we drove to all these spots.
Yeah.
And that was a crazy moment. You know,
now, did you play with Liz in Times Square in New York? One of those?
We played at the Highline Ballroom in New York with Liz, and I think that's the venue that of the picture that you have that I sent you.
Okay.
With me and Liz. Was from Highline Ballroom. Oh man, I can't even think of. There's been so many things. People that have tried to like not pay me. There's been so many things.
Sure.
We recorded. I think it was not Legendary Clouds. Maybe it was Legendary Clouds. We recorded at this famous bass player's studio. I won't tell you who, but he tried to. I remember him trying to get me to sign this contract, and my dad was just kind of like, "Whoa, like we're gonna pay you. Like we don't. There's no contract necessary. You know, we already know the terms and everything." And my partner at the time was like, not about it. And their dad was a lawyer, so they were like, "Oh, well, you got papers. We got papers too." And he was kind of like, "Oh wow," like taken aback by it. But that was probably like the first time that I felt like somebody was trying to get over on me in the industry, and that was, I mean, years ago. Right. So, but. Not too many like wild stories that I can think of.
What is your most favorite moment in music to date?
That's another hard question because there's so many good moments. But I would say for me, any moment on stage really that I get to play with my dad and I get to look over and see him smile and be excited and be proud. You know what I mean? Because I'm a daddy's girl. My dad raised me.
And I've seen that exact look that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've seen you look over at him on stage and glow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
And it almost brings tears to my eyes because I couldn't imagine just doing life without him. You know what I mean? And so made him feel like he's living the good life. Because I know we're not quite there yet, but we'll get there. I feel like that has brought me the most joy, and like you said, those glowing moments. It's just like incomparable, really.
So when you leave this place, this earth, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want people to remember me by not only my music, but my heart, my spirit, my drive, my loyalty, and just my forever wanting to give and to want people to know that they have somebody they can talk to, and my longing to let people know that they're not alone, and also to know that for people to know that no matter how big she became, she never forgot us. She never forgot the little people. She never forgot, which I don't even like to say the little people, but that's what people say.
Sure, yeah, figure of speech. You're good.
Yeah,
we're not easily offended here.
But
You're okay.
But you know what I mean. Like I don't know. I always want people to know that I'm never too big to approach, and I feel like a lot of people don't know how to approach me because of my demeanor, but it's just my shyness.
It's
really
so adorable to me when somebody will come up to me at the social or Silverados and say, "Do you know her? Can you get me a picture with her?"
Right.
I'm like, man, Leeda, get over here.
Right.
It's once people get to know you, I
Yeah.
mean, the walls come down quick. You are an absolute sweetheart to everyone. So.
Yeah. I just want people to remember how good of a person I was, I guess. And
Same
not
here.
because I tried. That's just me.
Yeah.
It's just who I am.
Tell me a funny story that your family tells about you that the public may not know. Any goofy stuff from childhood or fun stuff that Lyric fans may enjoy?
I got a funny story from I was probably 7 or 8, and me and my cousin Johnny were first cousins. We were best friends. Played baseball together. I was the only girl on the team, all those things. Like, he always had my back. So we were on family vacation, and back then my mom's side of the family would take like these big family vacations. I don't know what beach we were at and what hotel we were at, but I remember my mom telling us not to go past a certain depth in the pool, and I let Johnny talk me into going, you got it, like, just go under the rope, you're gonna be fine. So I'm like, okay. I try to swim down, can't get back up. So my cousin Keisha jumps in the pool, saves me. My mom's whooping me the whole time I'm getting out of the pool. She's like, "Didn't I tell you?" And my family tells that story every now and then, which is pretty funny. And then me and my cousin, same cousin Johnny, we're at my grandma's one of the holidays, playing in our parents' cars, and their hill that they lived on was like this. Johnny somehow either knocks the emergency brake off or something, but his mom's car hits the back of my mom's car, and oh man, we got in huge trouble. So we were just like those kids that like wanted to throw rocks at stuff we shouldn't have, and play in cars that we shouldn't have, and try to swim when we can't.
You have tell me a favorite childhood memory.
Those are actually some of my favorites, but another one would be just me and my dad kind of being at the house, and he always sang this song to me. I'm not sure who it's by. I think I don't know, but it's "What's your name? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? He rich. Is he rich like me?" And that's a memory that sticks with me because he would sing and I would repeat it back to him, because that's how the song goes. I say that's one of my like fondest memories, childhood memories.
Yeah, I got a song. My dad would somehow the musical gene missed me. I don't play anything. I sing a little bit, but I don't play anything. My dad would play "Yesterday" by the Beatles.
Okay, yeah.
And probably 5,000 times.
Yeah.
As a child, and it just I can sit and listen to it today, and it's just such a special memory. So I totally get that. That's cool. Just the little things like that. So, what other jobs have you had other than music?
Actually, my first job was at Bilo.
Okay.
And I was a cashier at Bilo. I ran the U-Scan. That was my first job. I worked at the Hotspot convenience store downtown.
Oh, that's a dangerous one too.
Yeah, my dad hated it.
That's where all the bad traffic comes. Yeah.
My dad hated it, but I was there for a little bit.
Builds character.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually made a lot of friends there. Like they all loved me. It wasn't like I never felt unsafe or anything. Yeah. And I worked at Pet Supermarket. That was my longest job. I worked there for like 7.5 years, and it was so much fun. Like shout out to Don Ronstad. He was my boss there, and he was always like.
Now, are you like a big animal lover? How did that come to be? You love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love dogs. I love cats. Aren't my favorite, but dogs, fish, and my knowledge grew about like aquatics and all that stuff.
Cats are little assholes, man.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not.
They don't make no sense.
They're not fun.
You can't. They don't call you can't call them by their name. Like is this
nothing.
No.
Yeah, they're not paying you any attention.
I love my two, but that I don't at the same time.
Yeah.
So, what was your favorite subject in school? You like a science gal or?
Definitely science. No English, no math.
Yeah, same
Those
here.
were like my least favorite subjects. But science was always fun to me. I even kind of liked geography and just like learning about different places in the world and learning about the map and all that stuff. I always found that interesting. But school was never really my thing. I was like a sports person. I played basketball and won 2 state championships.
That's right. We're going to put a picture up of that too.
Yeah.
2 state championships.
Yep.
I didn't hear that.
Asheville High School.
What?
Yep.
And you started on those teams?
2 basketball. My second year I did.
Okay.
First year I didn't.
Far out.
Yeah.
I knew you played. I didn't know that you got to that level.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy.
You point guard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played with Rashonda and Danielle. They were like no joke.
McCants?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet, man.
Was,
I might have to get an old game tape and look and check that out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, Leeda, if somebody were to write a book about you, what do you think the title would be?
Something about like my perseverance and just my drive. So maybe call it perseverance. I don't know. Because I'm always striving for something, and I always have this drive for what's next.
What drives you more? Is it are you driven by the creative part and putting something out in the universe that is uniquely yours, or because there's some artists that just pump stuff out there and the commercial success doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
I know, like, for example, by doing this show, I'm hoping that my numbers rise and then it grows and it becomes something, and that's certainly an important part of why I'm doing it. Not actually being good at it or trying to become good at it or creatively. Yeah. I mean, I want to make it a fun show. I want to have great guests, but really it's driven by the guests. But I'm driven by the numbers.
Yeah.
What about that for music? How does that apply to you?
I would say first for me personally, because music is what I do. It's what I love. It's my passion. It's what keeps me afloat and keeps me happy. So I do it for myself first, but then, with now with where I am, with just like wanting to get back to it and feeling that creative spark again, I would definitely say that I'm driven now by giving the people that want to hear what I have to come next, giving them that. And not just giving them something every other day because I could, but giving them something that I'm passionate about and something that I am going to feel good about later. And not rushing things. And I would say just giving you guys new material that is worth listening to.
Right.
And like that you want to listen to and not just be like, oh, she's putting this out because she hasn't done it in 2 years, 3 years. You know what I mean?
And at the end of the day, you get to do what you love.
Yeah.
And support yourself.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Sure, we would love to see you end up on Cribs and all that fun stuff, but right. Even if that never happens, you still got to do what you love for a living. And that's a blessing.
Mm-hmm. And it's for me, it's not about the monetary side of it. I mean, yeah, of course I need money to live, but it's never been about that for me. So yeah, just me being happy first and putting out great content that people are gonna love second.
How much of your love life plays into your content?
Not a lot of it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You seem to separate the two.
Yeah, I try to separate the two, just because I don't know. It's that's a hard one for me. I don't know. I feel like the latest song that you guys, this newest song that you guys are getting to hear was about a previous love, but that's not something that I typically write about.
Right.
And yeah, so this is just me giving y'all a different version of myself.
We need a Taylor Swift style album out of you.
Yeah.
You're just bashing all your lovers from the past. What is Leeda Lyric Jones' biggest pet peeve in this life?
One would be anybody like that bashes someone else. I just have never. I don't like bullies. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves. I don't like people that talk about other people because of what they don't have, or what they can't do. Those are like some of my biggest pet peeves. Like if you're that type of person, I don't want to be around you.
Yep.
And I won't be around you.
Yep.
Negativity. If you're gonna bring me down every day, we can't be friends. We can't hang out. We can't be anything. You know what I mean? It's like, I know that people get down. I've been there, but at some point, if it's gonna start dragging me down, then I'm like, okay, yeah. It's just like, it just feels gross.
What's your favorite trip that you've ever taken?
Ooh, I gotta say, it's between Puerto Rico and Nicaragua for sure.
Was Puerto Rico the one that Kenny was on?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Me, Kenny, and Brandon, and a bunch of other people, and that was so much fun, and just beautiful weather. And we came back to the cold here, so
Right.
So that made it even more exciting. For Nicaragua, I would say that was probably my most favorite trip. We did some like off-road four-wheeling and all kinds of stuff while we were over there that got kind of crazy. Saw some wild monkeys that were like dropping stuff down. I don't think they cared for us to be out in the jungle that much. Oh yeah, we had side-by-sides break down that we had to try to like fix out in the jungle, and oh man, it was crazy. Just crossing the borders and stuff, and just seeing how they lived was amazing. And everything there was so cheap.
And did you get to play any music while you were there?
I actually did. We went to this, we met these people so we went out on this catamaran one day and met these girls that were working on the boat, and they were like, oh, y'all should come to such and such tonight. There's going to be like an open mic and live music and stuff like that. And I got up and played with that band that night when we went over there, and that was something else.
The good sized crowd?
Oh yeah, it was a great crowd.
Bet they went crazy.
Yeah.
Oh nice.
Yeah, it was a great response. They just weren't expecting it, But that was probably Nicaragua was probably one of my best trips so far.
So Leeda, how do you feel about the world today? Like the world we're living in right now, I mean, we're not a political show, we're not gonna get into politics, but tell me about how you feel about this planet today.
I think there's still a lot of good out there in the world, but obviously there's a lot of bad too. And I go back and forth with myself with bringing kids into the world because I don't know. It's just so everything
scary.
is just so scary. Yeah, it's so scary now. It's like I don't know. Do I want to bring new life into that, or do I not? But like I said, I still have this optimism about life and how it can be great, But yeah, I think that's my view on it. I don't really have like a set thought about it. I just kind of try to take each day as it comes and pray that it's good, and if it's not that great, then I pray that it gets better. But yeah.
What is the biggest challenge that you're facing right now with your career?
I think you kind of spoke on it earlier. It's just like breaking through.
Yeah.
It's like that's the hardest thing. I feel like with any artist that.
Do you think it's harder as a female artist to break through?
Yes, I do. I feel like it's harder for us because I don't know, but there's so many factors and things that tie into it.
Sure. Do you feel like it's gotten better since you started?
Yeah.
As far as opportunities to you?
For sure, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of like social media and all our outlets now have played a big part in that. Whereas before we didn't have all that, you know what I mean? And now it's easy to kind of, not easy, but it's easier to get your name out there and to get people to get yourself in front of people, and get people to hear what you have to say and what you have to bring. But I think just breaking through that's been the hardest thing. Because I've come so close, and then it's
so
like,
close.
And then you come so close, and it's like, okay, we'll get there, you know. I'm still very optimistic about it. So
As you should be.
Yeah.
You absolutely should be. You're young, you're beautiful, you're talented, and I mean, talent doesn't even begin to cover it. You're insanely good.
Thank you.
And just super thankful to call you a friend.
Me too.
So we're getting close to wrapping this thing up here. Tell our audience where they can find you, the social medias, the website addresses, all that good stuff.
Either easiest thing to do is to Google Lyric of Asheville. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at AVL Lyric, just like it's spelled. Facebook, Leeda Lyric Jones. That's Leeda Lyric Jones. But yeah, if you Google Lyric of Asheville, you'll find all that stuff. You'll find my website, my Facebook fan page, everything.
Are you available for private parties, weddings, all that fun stuff?
Yeah, available for all those things.
And you book that directly, or would they need to go through an agency for that stuff?
Directly. They can email me, and I have somebody that deals with all that stuff.
What's that email address?
lyricalvocalist@gmail. Just like it's spelled, lyricalvocalist@gmail.
Awesome.
And that's for DJing.
That's right. We didn't even talk about
karaoke
that.
And
hold on, we forgot all about the DJ career too. This girl's a dope DJ. We're gonna put a picture up of that too. But she, not only the band, the hip hop side, the funk side, but she can DJ your stuff too.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I do it all.
You do it all. It's crazy, and you're gonna be putting on your own Jeep events, and
Yep.
now you got to write a book soon, something to tie it all together.
We'll try.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're a great friend. I love you to death, and I'm just so excited to see what direction your career takes from here.
Yeah, I love you.
And we'll
too.
have you back on here in a little while in a few for some musical stuff with Jack.
Yeah.
And this won't be your last time on here for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Love you too. All right, I'm Corey Short. This is Leeda Lyric Jones. We are all out of time for this episode. We'll be back soon. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank y'all. If you want to, then I want you to. And if you need to, then I need you to. So just be free, whatever destiny. Connectivity makes new memories. Snapshot.